everyone, it's Cassidy from Cassidy Reads and welcome back to my channel. Now today I thought I would do a book tag on here, and I'm doing the Book Snob book tag that I saw on Gabby, also known as Gabby Reads here on YouTube, and I will go ahead and link her video in the description down below. I've only seen her video here so far, but I thought this is a super cool video to do and try to see if I am a book snob. Most people would probably say I am, just because I tend to only read romance, but there's a bunch of different questions, and so let's get on with the video. So starting with the first question, it's the adaptation snob tag, and the question is, do you always have to read the book before you see the movie? For this case, I haven't actually read every single book before seeing the movie. With the Harry Potter series, I read most of those books after seeing the movies because they came out when I really didn't enjoy reading. But with other books, like After, and then It Ends With Us, which is coming out, I think either next year or the year after that, by Colleen Hoover. I have read those books long before they were announced as movies, but in most cases too, if I see that the movie is going to come out and I haven't read the book, I will read some of the books. I did read like the 50 Shades series when they announced that the first book was becoming a movie. I read 5 Feet Apart before that became a movie. To All the Boys I Loved Before, I read that series long before the movie was announced. So it all depends on the book and on the movie, and if I'm going to enjoy that book instead of watching the movie first, because there are some movies that I would rather just watch the movie instead of reading the book. And sometimes I just decide to read the book after seeing the movie. So it all depends, but I wouldn't say I always have to read the book before seeing the movies. The next question is format snob. Now you can only pick one way in which you read your books: physical, ebooks, or audiobooks. Now this is such a hard decision for me since I actually do all three. I love listening to audiobooks on my way to work or on long car rides, either traveling or something like that. I love my paperbacks and my physical books, obviously, and I love my ebooks, especially because I get a lot of my arcs that way. Now, with this choice, I would probably have to go with ebooks just because they're really convenient, because you can have all your ebooks on one device, like your Kindle or your phone, and usually they tend to be a little bit cheaper than physical books. And yeah, I mean, I guess I really don't want to make a decision that way, but if I would have to do it, I would probably definitely pick ebooks. And the third question is ship snob. Would you date or marry somebody who is a non-reader? I think I would. A lot of my friends don't like to read, so I don't think it would be a bother to me if I married or dated somebody who doesn't read. I think it would be interesting if I did find somebody who likes to read, because like we would have something to talk about, but I feel like we'd also have other things to talk about if that person didn't read. So yeah, it wouldn't bother me. It would be fun and, like I said, a positive to somebody who doesn't read, but it also wouldn't be a negative if I found someone who didn't read. It wouldn't bother me. I'm surrounded by people who don't read all the time, so I definitely would date a non-reader. The fourth prompt is genre snob. You have to get rid of one genre and never read it again. Now, I mainly only read romance, but I have read YA in the past and other forms of romance. So honestly, I would definitely get rid of YA just because I don't really enjoy reading it that much anymore anyway. I do read some YA, but it's just not for me. I do, like I said, I do read like Harry Potter and things like that, but for the most part, YA hasn't interested me in a while, so I haven't really stuck with the genre that much. So I would definitely be keeping romance in my future and keep reading romance. The fifth question goes along with the fourth one, and it's uber genre snob, and it's you can only read one genre for the rest of your life. What would it be? And of course, it would be romance. Like I said, pretty much only read romance 95% of the time, so that would not be a bother to me to only read romance for the rest of my life, and I hope it does happen because I absolutely love this genre. It's just so easy to read for me, and it's just so entertaining to me. I obviously don't like all the different tropes of the romance genres, but the ones that I do read, I would definitely consider reading for the rest of my life. The next question is community snob, and it's what genre do you think receives the most snobbery from the bookish community? And again, it's going to be romance. I know a lot of people who do not like the romance genre or even the romance community. And quite frankly, it annoys the heck out of me because I feel like people should just appreciate and love what they read and not have to comment on other people and what they read. It drives me insane. I have people comment on my Instagram pictures all the time or just message me and say, why do you only read romance? There's so many other great books out there. It's just what I enjoy reading. I love romance. I've fallen in love with it since I've started reading romance. And I'm never going to judge people for not reading romance or for what they read, so I don't think other people should really judge you for what you read. The thing is, like, the romance community is really, like, booming, and it's great, and it sucks that we only really get judged for, like, the 50 Shades series, and it's like, oh, it's only about sex. Like, it's not. There's so much to read when it comes to romance. Different tropes, different kind of books, like romantic suspense, comedy. I mean, there's so much, and I don't think any genre should receive snobbery, especially romance, because of certain books or certain characters or things like that. So nobody should make comments to other people about what they read, and everybody should just read what they love to read. That's my opinion, and I hope it gets the word out. Again, I don't want romance to receive snobbery, and I don't think any genre should. The next question is snobbery recipient. Have you ever been snobbed at for reading a certain book or reading in general? Now, to go along with what I had to say on the last question, yes, I have been judged so hard, not specifically for a certain book that I've read, but mainly just for reading in general or just reading romance in general. I have people ask me all the time, like, why don't you read something else? Like, read fantasy, stop reading all these fluffy romances. I don't just read fluffy romances. I will pretty much read any romance. I'm trying to get into historical fiction, but for the most part, I read anything else but historical fiction. And it's just annoying how people have to kind of make comments about what I'm reading. I don't understand why people judge you for what you're reading. It's not like I'm trying to push it on you. I mean, I know I talk about mostly romances on my channel or on Instagram, but that's not my way of pushing other people to read it. That's just trying to share a bond with other people who read romance, or trying to get people to maybe read a book if they haven't read it and they're gonna enjoy it. So I don't think, like I said, I don't think anybody should make comments about what you're reading or what genre you read. It's just you should be glad that people are reading and that people are enjoying books. I think that's the main goal here on YouTube and on Instagram, just to be happy that other people are reading and that other people might enjoy the same things that you're reading. So I, again, don't like when people make comments about what I read when they're negative. Obviously, I love when they're positive and when we could talk about books that we all love. But yeah, I don't like it, and I certainly don't want to do it to other people, so I wouldn't want people to do it to me. That was all 7 questions to the Book Snob book tag. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun with this, trying to get all of my answers together and the questions together, and I will have all the questions written down below in the description so you can all see them and maybe do your own book tag. I would love to see more of these book tags here on YouTube. It was a lot of fun to do and a lot of fun to watch Gabby's videos, or maybe even do it on IGTV on Instagram. But like I said, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe or follow me on my Instagram at Cassidy Reads, and I'll see you next week. Bye!